Hello and welcome back to 31 Days of Craftoween. This is Bobi Paginator, and before we jump into today's work, we need to show a little change that was made to yesterday's. For day 10, I had originally placed this little pearl dangle that you see here on top of this envelope to hope to weight it down. It did not work. I even tried attaching little bits of Velcro to hold it down. It still just does not want to hold down. So rather than add the extra bulk here, I did move the pearl to hang off of the page tab here. I think I like that better, but anyway, that's what we're doing. So now it's time to get into day 11. But first, of course, we need to open our Nightmare Before Christmas advent calendar for door number 11. Uh-oh, I'm knocking things over. What is it going to be? Oh, we have Jack. And he's holding a little tiny snowflake. That's going to be too tricky for you to see very well. Oh my gosh, look at my hands. They're so dirty. I've got ink and all kinds of stuff all over them. Anyway, we have another Jack. We got a Jack, a different one for day 6, I believe it was. And now we have this one. And I think this is a sign from the universe telling us that Jack Skellington needs to appear on today's junk journal page. Alright, so if I consult my list of prompts, Jack Skellington was suggested by Bookworm's Buddy, and we're going to include Jack today. We will probably include Jack again sometime throughout this junk journal, just because I have so much Jack stuff, and it's my only real fandom that I'm using in this junk journal. We could possibly do a creepy quote, because I have a bunch of Nightmare Before Christmas quotes like pre-printed. Ghost animals, we could put 0 on there, so I'm going to write down ghost animals as one of our prompts. I'm going to put packaging, a fold out. This is going to be a lot of prompts today, you guys. Can I do all of these things? Free flow stitching, or maybe it's called fast flow stitching. Either way, one of those kinds of stitchings. Actually, I think it is called fast flow. An envelope, you can use a playing card, and something I've never added to a collage. That's a whole lot. Alright, in terms of a playing card, I have this little card that has Jack on it, and the back side also has this a little bit bigger version of his head. I also have a whole bunch of Nightmare Before Christmas black and white stickers that we could use. And I've got these little buttons that are Nightmare Before Christmas. As far as packaging goes, I've got this piece of packaging here that's black and white. It was around my black and white washi tape set. And this could also be used to make a fold out of something. And as far as things I've never included in a collage, I've got this piece of fabric from an old headphone set that was Nightmare Before Christmas themed. I also have 2 other things that I have never used before. I have some of this binding stuff, not binding stuff, this is the binding stuff. This is bias tape. And what's this called again? This rickrack. So I've got these things. For an envelope, I've got a couple of options. Michelle sent me some things to work and craft with. So we've got this vellum envelope or this black envelope here, but I think I'm going to go with the vellum one because this is what I could do the fast flow stitching on. And I also have from Michelle some really pretty spiderweb washi tape that I think we could use, and some bone stickers. Yeah, we've got a whole pile of things. So we've got our book open and ready to go, and I have this digital print here that I think is just gorgeous, and I'd like to use this as a background. So I think I'll go ahead and cut pieces and glue them down to start building this page. The background is down. I'm still like so in love with this paper. It turned out so beautifully. Anyway, I think I want to choose a Jack Skellington quote, and that might help me with a direction for the rest of this page. So I have a bunch of quotes, as I said, pre-printed from Nightmare Before Christmas, and I want one that is Jack. There's children throwing snowballs instead of throwing heads. They're busy building toys and absolutely no one's dead. This one makes me laugh every time that I hear it in the movie, but I don't know if it's like the right fit. This one, just because I cannot see it doesn't mean I can't believe it. Of course, we have this beautiful one. My dearest friend, if you don't mind, I'd like to join you by your side where we can gaze into the stars. Oh, there's an empty place in my bones that calls out for something unknown. All right, I think we're going to go with the my dearest friend quote and do some Jack and Sally stuff. First, I'm going to cut around this. Alright, is there a way I can add this to this, or a piece of it anyway? I think, ooh, I've just had an idea. Alright, if I cut this here, and then keep this little flappy attached to it, we can put this on here, and then this can be a flap that like gets tucked underneath the page and the one that's going to get glued to the back of it, to the adjoining page. And then this could flip open and we could have it decorated as well. So the only question is, do I cut this much off, or do I put some more decoration here? I kind of want to cut it. I'm taking a very big risk here and just eyeballing. And then we'll decorate the inside of this. And I would like to cover it with some of this tissue paper from Michelle. So I'm just going to go over this really well with a glue stick and get as much coverage as I can. We have some things to play with here. I have a Sally and Jack button that I have snipped the little loop off the back of. And yes, Sally is very colorful, but she's going to be hidden inside the flip out, so we won't see her. Oh my gosh, this light. How many times can I apologize for the microphone shadow? It's still not going to zoom, like focus really well, just because my camera is garbage. So I'm going to try to work on this little flip out here so that you can see it, but it's just not going to be focused well no matter how much I zoom in. My apologies. I decided I wanted to play with layers of lace as well as adding these buttons. I thought it would be fun to try an experiment. I saw this on Pinterest of layering scraps of black and white lace, and I'm not going to do it across the whole pop out. We're just going to do most of the way across. And I've got some different pieces here, different widths and sizes, about this much, and this one out to here. Not entirely sure if this is going to work or not, but we're trying new things here. That's part of the joy of junk journaling, is creating things that didn't exist before, even if they're terrible. I don't think it'll be terrible, but we'll see what happens. So while I'm working on the bits that I'm not talking in, I usually have a video playing, and today I'm watching Then Came You, which is a movie on Amazon Prime starring Kathy Lee Gifford and Craig Ferguson. I love this movie so much. I've watched it at least a dozen times. And if you ever decide to watch it, don't go in expecting like Citizen Kane or something. It's not like super like cinematic glory or whatever, but it is a fun rom-com with my favorite comedian of all time, Craig Ferguson, and Kathy Lee Gifford. They are actual friends in real life, and it's fun to see them like playing off of each other in this like rom-com movie. So anyway, that's what I'm watching today while I'm crafting. It takes place in Scotland, and it is about a woman whose husband has died. She is from Nantucket, and she and her husband really loved movies, and so she decided to take her husband's ashes and visit different places in the world where their favorite movies were set. And her husband loved the movie Braveheart, so she's starting in Scotland, and she's then going to go to Italy where Roman Holiday was made, and just different like movie locations around the world. And Craig Ferguson is the innkeeper at the first place that she is at, which is a place called Odds Inn in Scotland. It's a romantic comedy. You can imagine what's going to happen. Okay, I kind of like this. And I don't know if you noticed, but like the circle detail here on this piece of lace is the exact same as the circle here. So they were clearly from the same collection. And then we have these black lace like tulips peeking out in between them. I think those look really cool together. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm delusional. I don't know. I like it. Now we need to add Jack and Sally. And I have the idea to put this toward the top of the page so that it's like this, and then it flips out like that. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to work on is an envelope and the fast flow stitching. So I have pulled apart this coin envelope from a shell, and I'm going to do some stitching on this and then reassemble. Now this is going to need some help. I might need to use some washi or something to hold it together, or at very least some glue, but I needed to pull it apart because if I sewed with this closed, then I would sew the envelope shut and it would be pointless. Okay, so the stitching is done. I apologize I didn't show it to you, but I can't get my camera in a good angle to like see what the machine is doing. I'm gonna go ahead and trim off these little ends to at least make them a bit shorter. I do like the idea of just having some little ends hanging off here. And then we'll need to reassemble the envelope. So we'll start with this. Now, what I did to do that sewing was just go. That's the idea behind fast flow stitching, is you just put your thread in, you get loaded up, and you just sew quickly without thinking about it too much. And I don't know how well I did or didn't do that, but we now have an envelope with fast flow stitching on it. This is the first time I've ever tried fast flow stitching, and I can't believe that I'm doing it in a video in front of everybody, but you know, that's just what I do, I guess. I'm going to reinforce it when I stick it into the actual page, but for now we're going to call it good. And usually when we put an envelope into a junk journal, we glue it down on this side so that we can see how it opens. Or at least that's what I've done most of the time, but that's not going to work because then we'll lose the stitching. So what we might do is just glue down this tab and leave this like this so it kind of pops out. So that's another element of a pop out or fold out, which is one of our prompts. So maybe we'll get double that on this spread. I was thinking about maybe putting the playing card in here, but it's too small. So either I need to just use the elements from the playing card to work on a bigger card, or use it in a different way. So that's something to think about. We do need to include things that I have never included in a collage before. So we've got like those things that I mentioned. earlier, like the rickrack and the fabric from the headphones, etc. I would really like to use some of the Nightmare Before Christmas stickers that I have, because I bought them specifically to use in this junk journal. They are all black and white, so we're going to dig through these. And I think that because we have that quote about, or that it is Jack talking to Sally, we should use some of the two of them together. So my next step, I think, is going to be sorting through stickers. Okay, I've sorted my stickers, and I've cut a card to go inside the vellum envelope. I'm a little bit all over the place because once I sorted the stickers, I was like, yeah, now I want to go work on the card. We're going to just ink up on both sides, and what I'd really like to do is make this card all about 0. So when I was going through the stickers, I found this one, which would be the perfect size to put on this card. And then this one I'm going to use as a visual reference and see if I can't recreate his little dog house and use some of those bone stickers from Michelle to give him some little bones. Because every dog needs some bones in his dog house, right? This could be a terrible idea, or it could be a great one. We'll see. Alright, so our journaling card is ready. We're going to slide it on into the envelope. We'll do this so that you can see it through the stitching. Or do I not want to do that? Do I want to turn it so that we just see white? I kind of like that better. Yeah, then we can really see the stitching there, and then you can take it out to see 0 or just flip it open like that. I just had a thought which might help us to reinforce the end of this envelope. So I could take these other scraps of the lace that we used on our pop out and build a mirroring collage on the inside of this that's also a pop out. I kind of like that idea. Alright, I had kind of played with that 0 bead to put there, but that's too much. So let's just leave this like this. Okay, so we've got elements built. We still haven't started putting anything together on the actual page, so it's time to start doing that. We haven't used a playing card yet. I am not going to put this bright green or this orange on the page, so we're either going to cut out this Jack or this Jack to put somewhere on the page itself. We will just see what happens. Alright, so we know that this pop out is going to go up here. We're going to have our quote. And I'd like the envelope to be maybe here. We still have our stickers that we picked out that we could do some collaging with. And this, I think I like this front piece as well. I kind of like the idea of maybe like putting Jack, like this piece of Jack down here, and then like building up a sticker collage that's like Jack and Sally, like maybe swooping across the pages. Okay, let's start attaching some things. All right, these things are attached now, and you can see that I added the little playing card Jack right here. So the collaging is basically going to be stickers. So we've got all of these stickers here. I don't know whether I should edge around them with the black soot or just let them be. What would Barbara do? I'm channeling my 49 Dragonflies inspiration here. If I had, and this is not going to be the exact layout, but let's just say, for example, I had these stickers here. Would I want some kind of like black shading around them? I think I would. We'll start here and build stickers on top of each other and ink them up as we go. Okay, what do we think? I kind of love it. If I was getting super picky, I would want to move this up just a little bit to create some space between here and here. But because I've already glued it down and the pages like are sandwiched around it, it's not moving. So I'm just gonna have to let go of that. But I do like the contrast between so much dark going on and then this white on the envelope here. And I really like the collage of stickers. So. Cool. Okay, we had like 8 jillion prompts on this one, so even though I haven't been coming back to the prompts list in the last few videos, I am going to revisit my list here. All right, did we include something we haven't included on a collage before? I didn't use any of the items I mentioned earlier, but I did include fast slow stitching, so I'm going to say that that's a double. It covers for itself and something I haven't included before. Definitely we have Jack on there about 15 times. We've got ghost animals with 0. We've got packaging here. We've got a creepy quote. We've got an envelope. The stitching. We've got a playing card or a piece of a playing card. Wow, we really covered all of those prompts. Alright, so that's going to be it for day 11. Thank you so much for joining with me. As always, you can check the playlist below if you are interested in seeing the other videos I've been doing. And we'll see you in the next one. Have a wonderful, magical, and spooky day. Happy crafting. Adios.